I know everybody's thinking to themselves, Al, Jojo, why did you choose an electric garage heater? Well, let me tell you, there's a couple of reasons. One, electric garage heaters are 100% efficient. There is no exhaust, so there's no wasted energy. Second, the exhaust, right? I didn't want to have to cut a hole in the roof of my garage or my house. And it would have been unsightly to put the exhaust through the roof because the garage faces the front of the house. It's the focal point. And I just didn't want that unsightliness. The other reason, if I would have had it exiting out through the wall, I would have had to put it in the far corner, which had an exposed wall, because this wall and this wall are joined to the house. And so I couldn't put it where I wanted to. Right? Thirdly, I don't have access to the gas line in my basement because my basement is finished. So I would have had to have found where the gas line came into the house and found a T and somehow, like from the furnace room, fished it through a finished ceiling, through this wall and up into the garage, and then still put a hole in the wall. So it was just too many variables. I thought, okay, electric's the way to go, right? We found a way through the utility room in the basement to run electric service out to the garage. But the gas line is still in the finished portion of the garage, or of the basement. So it just wasn't feasible. So we chose an electric garage heater. I wanted a different model. There is like a liquidation warehouse in a town where I live that gets a lot of like seconds.
On the screen.
Yeah, seconds and blems and stuff like that. It's not an Amazon return flash sale place. This here was probably, I think originally the box had a Home Depot UPC code on it. I was looking for a 10,000 watt King brand heater. They had a 15,000 watt. They did not have the King in stock like they said they did. They had this Dyna-Glo 15,000 watt instead. So we're gonna hook it up and see what happens. And hopefully it all goes well. If anything, if this heater doesn't work or whatever, or craps out, the bracket's already hung, the electrical will already be run. We can go buy the King heater we really wanted and go down the road. So that's why I chose electric. It's not gonna work for everybody. You know, somebody's gonna comment, oh, you know, gas is cheaper to run. Yeah, that may be true, but in my circumstance, I wanted to go electric. And if we ever do put solar panels on the roof, we can run the heater off the solar panels. You can't really do that with gas. You know, you can't just find your own gas and run your heater off of that. So here we go. I already got the brackets, the bracket mounts scribed into the board. I'm gonna drill some pilot holes, get the bracket hung up, and then you can watch Alex and I struggle to hang the heater on the bracket itself. So hindsight being what it is, if I could do it again, I would probably hang it 2x6, because some of those bolt holes are pretty close to the edge of that 2x4. All right, Al, after I get this one hogged up in there, you might need a washer and a lag bolt for the other one. Let's see if we can get her hogged. Oh, it's a little crooked. Oh, she's getting right in there. Hand me another one, old man.
Yeah.
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 Probably fine with just two, right? That's amazing. She doesn't want to do it. All right. Well, with the bracket mounted, now we can do the fun part, which is actually putting the heater up on the bracket. So I have to move some stuff out of the way and reposition. I did something like that. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Huh? now what do you think? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this heater on top of this milk crate that's pushed on this ladder that's also haphazardly clamped to another milk crate. What do you think?
That seems like a disaster, but I will watch.
Okay, so this,
She will walk in shame.
Mom, I think maybe you can get behind the camera in case we have to change the angle.
No, there. Is it heavy?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Oh my gosh.
So first things first, we have to write it and put it up, and then we have to over the hand or over the head lift. That's going to be outside the golden zone, but you know what are you going to do? All right, watch out. Stand on this side, buddy. Let's go ahead and flip it. All right.
It's not bad, so it's no big deal.
No. All right, now you grab one side and I'll grab the other, and we're going to put it up on top of that there milk crate. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Alex, you're running out of arms. Help! Uh-oh. Disaster has struck. Yeah, hold me, Al. I think that's higher than the bolt holes. Dang it. How do we remedy that? Do we just... Alex, hand me one of the thumb screws that goes into the...
Where is it?
On the bench. It's like a little star looking. Yep. Alright, Dad's gonna climb up on here. Oh. Hell, yeah. How is that so crooked? Oh. Steady the ladder, Al. Alright, this side went in. I guess right. Pretty good, huh? Oh. Alright. What about this side? Oh, too high. Uh-oh. Alright, so how are we gonna fix that? I say we go like this. Oh, just like that. Alex, hand me that on thumb screw. Yes! Great success.
Great success.
Wait, screw it in?
Yeah. How about that, huh?
How about that? We didn't die this time.
We didn't die. So we'll leave those loose. Alright, now when I get off this ladder, I'm going to hold this heater, and I want you to pull the ladder out real fast, like a guy pulling a tablecloth out from a table and then my wine glasses still stay. Something like that. Be dramatic effect. Alright?
Like
Go. Oh. Yeah. Oh!
did the wine glass stay out there?
The wine glass stayed up. Oh! Well, now we're heating the ground.
Yeah.
Hey. Sketchball City. Okay. Hey, that actually worked out. Good job. High five. Very nice. Alright. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ooh, that's trademark. I'm really liking it. Let's check our distance from here to here. Oh yeah, perfect. It's exactly 1 foot from the wall, so that's that is perfect.
Yes.
Live?
Yep. Ah, girl.
All right, now the next step is wiring this hog. You know, it didn't say in the instructions about what size breaker we need. I don't know.
So if it looks different, it's probably because we had to do a phone switch.
We had to do phone swap. We had. So book says 10 gauge wire. So 10 gauge wire. Oh, right here. Specifications. 62.5 amps. So we're probably gonna need like a 65 amp breaker. Neither of which a double pole 240 our box is square D home line, so we'll probably have to go grab one of those, but we can get the wires run to the box. Al, I can't see nothing.
I can't see.
Here where it says, here, come here, buddy. Look on here to see on this black or this red if it says AWG8 anywhere on there. I can't see nothing. I'll look for another straight. Do you see anything that says, where is it? Ah!
Aha!
Aha! Come here, Al.
Find glass.
Let me see. Right here.
Yes.
AWG8. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna use this wire. Whoa, man. Trippy. Don't break that. Alright, we'll use that wire. We got two hots and a ground, so we're good there. We're doing 240 single phase. And oh, here's the other straight right here.
Ah!
No, it's on. Oh. I don't know. Come on over here, Al. Come on. No. I want you to come over here. The person, not the camera. The person. So this is all temporary, obviously, right, Al?
Mm-hmm.
But what we found was we couldn't buy this heater, this electric heater, 15,000 watts, draws 65 amps on high, okay? And that's no BS. The only thing I could find locally here at our hardware store, the Menards, up in Wisconsin, was a 50 amp breaker. That's all a 60 amp breaker. That's all they had in stock. So what I want to do is I bought it just to hook it up to make sure the unit worked, because it's new, but it's also out of the box. And the place I bought it from only offers a warranty for so many days, unlike the manufacturer. So I bought a 60 amp breaker, and we're gonna try to fire it up on low, which should only be 7,500 watts, so it should only draw about 45 or 50 amps, just to see, as proof of concept, does the control card work, does the thermostat work, does the heating element work, right? So why don't we go ahead and throw the breaker on this hog. If everything works, it generates heat, it does what it's supposed to, then I'll have to order a 70 amp home line square D breaker online. Yeah, hopefully Bezos has got one in stock. Hopefully, if he's not flying to the outer space
That's Elon.
talking to the aliens. So, all right, let's throw the breaker on this hog out and see what happens. Now, obviously, this is not code, but just for proof of concept and just for testing purposes, we're gonna fire it up. I'm not gonna leave this like this overnight. If it runs and everything works good, if this operates the way it should, I'll take this breaker and this wire's off, put the cover back on. I'm big time into safety. I want to make sure Al is safe, and I want to make sure he learns the right way to do it, not just a way to do it, right, Al? So let's flip the breaker. Look away.
Why?
Just in case it sparks. Okay, that came on. So let's see. Over here, according to the instructions, this is the power button here, and you hold it or something. This is up and down for temperature. This is timer. This is the LCD display. Come on, go.
Hold it. Or just press it once.
Hold it, or just press it.
Here.
Oh, that's hot. H is high, so. And. Oh gosh. So that puts it in high mode, anything over 65. So there, see where it flashed L? That's low. So that means we should be drawing under the wattage. It's still on low. Let's leave it at 67. Okay, yeah, the whole coils are starting to heat up. Let's see what kind of amperage we're drawing on low. I just got my little cheapy Craftsman amp meter, amp clamp. let's take one of these leads here. Yeah, so in low, on low setting, I don't know if you can see this, it's drawing 50 amps. That's a 60 amp breaker. Can you see that now?
I'll zoom it in.
No. Let's see what happens when we kick it on high real quick, just to see. So right now, about 48.8 amps. High. Okay, that's 62 amps. That's a 60 amp breaker, so that breaker is going to get hot and it's going to trip on high. So let's bring it back down to low. Now we're back down to low. It's 48, 49 amps. So let's let this run for a while, Alex, and make sure it runs through the cycle and does what it's supposed to. And if it does, then we'll call a mission accomplished and we'll get that breaker on order, the correct breaker, and we'll finish putting in the seal tight conduit and put the panel back together. How's that sound, bud?
Good.
Good. All right, let's let it run for a little bit. For now, I'm just going to put one of the cover screws in just to kind of hold it, and then we'll come back and check it and see what it does. I don't know about you, Al, but I'm ready for a snack. You ready for a snack?
So you gotta do an outro.
All right, folks, we'll be back.